and I've got to be careful because I'm guessing that's your boyfriend.
Yes.
How are you doing?
Good, thanks.
Yes.
How are you doing?
Well, word to your mother. My name's Steve, this channel is FRAG30 Imperious, and we've got Venora back for part 2 of my 10 fragrances for life smell and rate. So we've done part 1, hopefully you've watched that already. I shall link that in the description below. And we're going to do the next 5 fragrances, and same rules apply. I'm going to spray them onto a strip, get Venora's opinion, and then we'll do all of them. Then we'll come back and maybe look to see if your scores change, which it did in part 1. So a few of them did change. So let's do this. Would you like to pick one?
Yes. Maybe I'll start from the ones that I don't know. I like that orange color, the Byron.
This one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's try this one.
This is my baby.
Oh, really?
Not that I'm swaying you or anything. This is interesting. So we'll see what you say to this
Okay.
one. So everybody knows this was my first. So this is a niche fragrance. So this kind of, as opposed to being designer, where you've got a designer house that make obviously like clothes and bags and all sorts, and then they also do perfumes. Niche is basically they only do perfumes. That's like their thing. So typically they're higher quality and they're more expensive is the general rule of thumb. Not always, but mostly. So this was my first niche fragrance. I smelled this on another channel on FRAG30, and I fell in love with it, and I had to buy it. So here we go.
Okay.
So I think I said, so this is Byron Parfums, the Chronic. That's what it's called, the Chronic. And there's no cannabis in it, but I think it's because it's addictive. Is the this is really strong actually. It performs so well.
Okay.
I actually prefer the dry down to the opening on this.
Oh wow. Okay, this is interesting.
I can smell it. So
I
this
like
should be
it.
interesting to come back because I love the opening. Well, I really like the opening, but I
like
love
it
the dry
too.
down. The dry down gets even better for me, but we'll see what you think. But it's good, isn't it? Very quite strong. So almost. Well, what do you think?
I like it. I'm finding it really difficult to find the words to describe
Bit
it.
sweet, bit bubblegummy.
It is. It's very. Yeah. It's very sweet. It's
Yeah, the
definitely.
opening is.
Yeah. It's definitely something that probably you would wear when it's cold. So you would put something like this. So it's. But it's actually, it's also, I feel like a woman could wear this as well.
Yeah. Oh, I should say, actually, interestingly, with Byron Parfums, all of their fragrances are unisex.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So that is one of the things.
I mean, it's something I would like to wear.
No, it is. They are designed to be unisex. So all of their fragrances are. So there's another one that's really popular in the sort of fragrance community, which is called Mula Mula, and that is sort of quite floral. So that's quite sort of feminine. But again, that's one of those ones where I said it's quite manly, but I actually meant you need to be quite manly to wear it because it's quite floral. But yeah.
Okay, well, I think I would prefer a woman wearing this.
Okay, that's fine. We'll come back to the dry down because it loses.
Can I spray it on myself?
Go for it.
I want to see. Maybe I don't, because I love honey kind of smell.
Oh, I should have. You shouldn't rub
Why?
because it changes. It can damage the fragrance and changes how it kind of things. But you
I
shouldn't.
didn't
Yeah,
know
you can
this.
dab, but you shouldn't rub. Apparently, no.
You learn something new every
There you
day, right?
But yeah, so that on the dry
like
down
this
is basically
one.
sandalwood and musk, and it's kind of got some sweetness to it as well. But there's also like cinnamon, so there's some spice in it, and that also gives it that sort of almost gourmandish, sweet, yum kind of. Because do you want to just keep smelling it? It's quite
Yes,
like a.
I
See,
find it
that
very
hence-
comforting.
Hence
the one.
the chronic is quite a good name.
Yes.
It's the addictive. You kind of. But this performs so well. You'll be smelling of that all night now. I'm not even
It's
joking.
so awesome. I love this on me.
So what I love about this is it performs so well. So if I'm ever going out all day, that's often one I reach for because I know if I just put like 3 sprays on, that'll last me all day. It's
Really?
absolute beast mode performance. It's great. So out of 10 on the opening, or at least on that?
But can I just for women?
For women, you think for women?
I really like it. I would almost love it for myself. I would have to give it 8 out of 10.
For a woman.
Yes.
So if a guy was wearing that, you wouldn't. Let me smell it on you.
I don't
See, I can see that it's quite fair. Like, I can smell it on you as. I think it is unisex, but it's probably some people might say.
It's
feminine.
really funny because I can't put it because I'm not saying that I wouldn't like a man to wear it, but I would prefer a woman to wear it.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I can send you the link to that afterwards
Yeah,
where you
I
can
love
buy it
this
from.
one,
There we
yeah.
go. Right, should we do another one? Do
Yes.
you want to pick one or not?
Yes. So I like this game. Can I have that little? That's
This one?
yeah. Let's do this one.
So this is Azzaro's Wanted by Night. So they originally come out of a fragrance called Wanted, and then which was kind of quite a fresh, bubblegummy, citrusy. It's kind of a little bit like Invictus. It gets compared to. I don't know if you remember Invictus from Paco Rabanne. This is Wanted by Night, so this is a flanker, but it smells quite different. So this is like a nighttime. It's quite rich. I'll let you smell it.
Because you know, it's funny because when we were talking last time, didn't we? And you mentioned to me that the fragrance is from Azzaro, which I never thought to get, because I was just gonna be the cheap.
They are cheap, but some of them are good. Some of them don't last, but some do. So if you like honey, the rich, warm, addictive is like tobacco and honey. It's lovely, beautiful. It's in the men's section, but a woman could wear it. There's no reason why you couldn't. It's really nice.
My nose is getting all.
You're getting.
But you know what? It's so good that we're doing this outside because
you
kind of get a fresh air.
See what you think to that.
Ah, okay.
Bit different.
Well, let me put it this way: if you would have not told me that this is Zara, I would have never.
This is not Zara. This is Azzaro.
Oh, Azzaro.
Azzaro, yeah. So not Zara, Azzaro.
It's very. I'm gonna use the same wording. It's very husky. It's very warm. It's very.
Yeah. So this is more. It's Wanted by Night, so it's more of a nighttime fragrance. So probably like date, going out, going for a meal. It's quite rich. It's quite kind of. Do you get any notes from it? It's hard to sometimes pick them out. It's hard.
Yeah. I think it's a bit too strong for me. Do you know what? Do you know what it reminds me of? For women, there's a perfume Star.
Okay, no, I don't know that. Yeah.
It
smells like that, does it?
It's kind of like it has a bit of theme like that, but this is better than that. It smells better. I think I need to leave this for a bit.
This does develop a little bit, actually.
Yeah, I would give it 5 out of 10.
5. Oh, you're breaking my heart, man. But that you can see that it's more of a nighttime. I think it's quite a sexy fragrance. I like that. That performs really well because that's an EDP, so that'll last quite a long time.
Okay. I'm sticking to 5. I think we'll come back. So at the moment, I don't want to give it too much because.
Right. Do you want to pick one next?
Okay, let's go for the middle one.
Well, you sort of know this one.
Oh, yes, Hugo Boss.
This is Boss Bottled Intense EDP. So you've got Boss Bottled, which is which 1998, I think it came out in.
Okay.
Most people know that. This has got the same DNA, so this is Boss Bottled Intense, so it's kind of richer and stronger, and this is the EDP version, so it's stronger still, sort of just in strength. So this, you'll see, is not as kind of light, but you'll recognise it, I would have thought.
I mean, I like Hugo Boss. Oh, it smells a little bit. Let me just
Nice, isn't it? So it's really recognisable. It's the only thing I don't like about it is it's quite a popular DNA, so a lot of people wear Boss Bottled, but that version is lovely.
I was gonna say, it's not. It doesn't sound unique. It doesn't smell unique.
It's very recognisable. It's one of the most. It's not the most, but as far as I know, it's one of the most sort of worn fragrances, or most purchased fragrances for men.
I'm not the biggest fan of Boss. It's a safe option.
It is a safe option.
It's a safe option. You can't go wrong. You're not gonna smell awful. You're gonna smell, but you're just gonna be like everyone else. So it's safe. But I think I prefer when somebody's a bit more edgy or different or unique. So for that, it's not that for that reason. I'll give it a 6.
6, okay.
But.
It's very recognisable. That is a bit richer and stronger than standard Boss Bottled.
Yes,
that was one of the last fragrances I put into my top 10. So the top 10 fragrances for life, I'm getting a lot of sun on my face, I'm probably being whited out, is, as I said to you before, they're not necessarily my absolute favourite top 10 fragrances, though they sort of are, but you do have to factor in if these are 10 fragrances for life, so you need some for summer, some for like office, you need a bit of variation. You can't have like 10 winter fragrances that are like really strong and boozy. You need some variation.
I think
so. That was 6, did we say?
I'm gonna say 6.
Right.
Yes, for now. Okay, let's go for Tom Ford. Okay. I like Tom Ford. Let's see if it's.
So next up is Tom Ford's Noir Extreme, which I smelled this in store for the first time and I fell in love with it.
There's Orchid. Have you smelled the Orchid?
Black Orchid.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan.
I
love this. This is. I think. Well, before I won't sway you. I'll let you smell it first.
Oh my god! Wow, this is so strong. Wait.
I did put 3 on there, which is probably a bit much to be. Dying inside.
Oh, there's no taking past this.
No.
Right?
I love it.
Right?
That's the thing, because this is why it's subjective. This is why it's fun. I love it. It's like you don't.
But I will give it. At least I'm gonna give it a 3. Okay. I'm not gonna give it a 1.
You know what? That's a pity score. That's almost more offensive than saying 0.
Well, let me come back to
What don't you like about it? But try and elaborate.
Okay,
It's cool. Honestly, I don't mind, because I always stand by it. I love that fragrance, and lots of people do. So I got lots of compliments on that. My wife likes it, and
I just feel like it has this after smell. That's the best way I can describe it. And
Okay.
it's like initially when you smell it, it's kind of nice, and then you kind of like hold it for another like second or 2, and then you're like, oh, I don't know if I liked it. So at the moment I'm giving it 3.
so it's interesting with that fragrance. I get like this tobacco accord, but there's no tobacco in there. There's not a note, but I get this kind of tobacco-ness. But I do get some mandarin as well, which nobody really gets.
I suppose it's
mandarin,
a
but
bit smoky.
But it's kind of creamy, so it's got kulfi in it, which is like an Indian dessert, and there's also vanilla. So it's kind of got this.
The one.
So it's got this sort of creamy tobacco accord. I get this hint of mandarin. So there's a mandarin right at the top, which is sort of like, and I fell in love with that when I first smelt it.
Really?
I absolutely smell that in store with my friend, and I fell in love.
Well, I would
It's
never buy this to
so
my boyfriend. Or
so if a guy was wearing this on a date, or you'd be like, "Whoa, I need to get out of here."
yeah, I would be like, it depends how much I like him, but I'd be like, we need to change your cologne choices.
we need to get Blur de Chanel EDP. That's what we need to do.
Yes.
I mean, there's guys out there now that are like just crying, but no, I love this.
You
But
know
it's
what?
subjective.
I'll come back to it, but
Yeah.
to be honest, you know, again,
It is
it probably
subjective.
smells so different on different
Yeah.
individuals.
Of course,
so,
for me, it smells fucking amazing.
Of course,
Of course, you'd be dropping your
Please
panties, I'm
don't
sure.
be modest
So, yeah.
around
Are we
this,
still
my
recording?
God.
Yes, we are. That's good. Right,
So last one.
last one.
This time I kind of gone. I wish almost on the we go from like the worst to the best.
Yeah, but we don't know what they are, though, do we?
It's true. It's true.
We
it's
don't
true,
know.
It's true.
They're all best in my eyes, but they're not to you. So, right, you probably don't know much about this one.
Okay.
I think, see if that's on there. I think I got it. On a bad aim, but see that face. It's
Oh
the
my
other face I
God.
don't like.
Do you know what?
Is it strong or is it?
It smells like
Don't go in
toilet
too soon.
spray.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh
My God, this
God,
is
I'm dying.
bad. This is
Really?
really bad. I
OMG.
don't like it. No.
Let me spell that.
Oh my God.
To be fair, that doesn't quite smell right. I'm gonna spray it on my skin.
Oh, that is
Because,
the worst out of all
I
your
appreciate
choices.
on that paper. I will actually confess. Everybody knows that watch my channel how much I love that fragrance. So that is Emporio Armani Diamonds Black Carat. So I love the original diamonds. It's like quite a fragrance that got me into fragrances. I smelled it on holiday. I loved it. It's a lot richer and sweeter than that, and a bit more cloying. And I wore that for years as my going out fragrance. I was wearing it when I met my wife. I wore it on our wedding day, and everybody's heard this story loads on my channel. I smelled this
She still
version.
married you?
Yeah. So this version is the Black Carat version. So this is kind of a little bit more smoother and sophisticated, but that's not. It smells a little bit better now on the dry down. But let's kind of give my arm a wave and see if it's
Okay.
any better. But it's subjective. I can take it, but I really like that. But I was hoping you would as well.
This is by far the worst. I don't even
It's
know if I want to smell it. I'm scared.
How bad is fragrance when you're like, you can't even, you build it, you're psyching yourself up to smell it. Like, it's like, okay, almost defeating the purpose. Like,
But you know, the worst part is that the bottle looked so good. I was like, oh my God, this looks so chic and cool.
what's
and I'm
funny, for months I've been building that fragrance up on my channel, like loads, going, how much I love this fragrance, you've got to smell it. And you've undone all my work. Swear to God.
Just by one
That
thing.
is dog shit.
I'm not, okay, it's just my opinion. That's, should I, okay, it smells a bit better, but I just,
So we've gone from a 0 to a 1.
I would even give it a minus.
A minus?
Okay, I'll give it a 1.
Okay.
But I almost feel like, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I'll take that. I'll take the hit on that one. I must admit, it's not smelling... I don't think paper does it justice.
Well, it smells a bit different on your skin.
Yeah, it's quite woody actually. It's woodier than I
It
remember.
smells better on the skin. That's the only reason you're getting a 1.
I think we'll come back to that
cologne.
one, and it might kind of dry down. And I mean, we've got the extremes in this list. We've gone from 10s to 0s to minuses to middle range. So let's
I think
go.
overall, I like this selection. I
It's a
think
good
my
mix.
scores
It's a
were
good
quite
mix.
high.
Right, so let's go back and do some dry downs.
I want to buy this.
So this is the one. So that's Parfums, Byron Parfums, the Chronic,
Yeah, I really like this,
but on a woman.
but on a woman.
So not so much on a guy, but you,
Could we spray on you just to see
of course.
how it smells? I love this one.
I love this.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
It's a great fragrance, isn't it?
Very well done, Byron.
We're going to get them some sales out of this.
Well, at least in me, I'm gonna.
It's quite sweet at the minute, but
Do you know, I honestly now, this is the first time in my life that I could actually understand the unisex perfume, cologne, perfume, it says perfume, because I like it on you too.
it's lovely, isn't it? It's just
But if I wear it, I don't want a man to wear it. Like, that would be weird. Can you
But then you
imagine?
could share fragrances. But then it's the thing. I've got some unisex ones, and my wife says no, that smells like you, so I'm not going to wear that. Right, so that's still a winner.
This is a 10 out of 10.
So that's gone up because I think it was an 8, wasn't it?
I think it's gone up, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was an 8 and now it's
keeping
a
it
10.
now, and I'm.
But as a woman's
I mean,
fragrance.
I will buy this one. I love this one.
It's a good fragrance. Right, what did we do next? Let's try and do it in the same order. Did we do this one next?
Yes.
So this is Azzaro's Wanted by Night.
So this was quite a high score, I think.
Well, no, I think you said it was okay, but you said it's very
like this
strong.
one. I like it. I like it now. It's actually it's fresh. It's fresh.
It's got like some uplift, but it's kind of got that sort of sexiness, I think.
Oh yeah, I would say this is sexy too. I like this one. It's
Cool.
very chic and sexy.
Can't remember
Definitely
what you
wear
scored
it
it
on a date.
for. Yeah? So what do you score that now?
I would say it's 9 out of 10.
9
I
out
can't
of 10,
give
that's
it
good.
a 10.
We've got some good scores. I've got a couple of, in the whole list. I've got a few 10s, a couple of 9s, and just
You
a
know
couple
what?
of...
Sorry, I interrupted.
No, it's fine. Go on. So this is
the
Boss
Hugo.
Bottled Intense EDP.
Again, it's such a
Recognisable.
recognizable, familiar. Like I said, you can't go wrong smell. So I think I gave it a 5 or a 6.
I think you said a 6. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stick to that because it's just not unique enough. But I like it.
Okay.
It's just that.
So if you was rating it as a smell, it would maybe be a bit more, but just as an overall package, you're bringing it down because it's common.
Yeah.
Okay, fair
Basically, yeah. But it's.
Tom Ford's Noir Extreme.
No.
See, I mean,
Oh no.
it's interesting. It's interesting
I don't
because
like
I mean,
this
the one which we'll get onto in a minute, which is left field. Not many people know that, but this gets a lot of love. Tom Ford's Noir Extreme gets a lot of.
Really?
I've got loads of compliments on this. Well, not loads because I don't get loads of compliments, but I have got
when
compliments.
I do get those couple.
I have got I have got compliments when I've paid somebody and I've asked them and I've begged. So still a no on that one.
I would still say that one is still. What did I score it before?
I can't remember.
I would probably give it a 3. I think it's here, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't want to start off, but let me have another go on you.
It'd be interesting if you smelt the original version.
I don't like those 2 last ones.
Okay,
That
fair
we
enough.
did. They're not.
So that's crazy, isn't it? I mean, that one I take out of left field, but Noir Extreme gets so much love. But it's interesting, that's how subjective it is. That some women would love that and they'll compliment people, and
Yeah.
other people, it's just no. Let's just turn off. And that's the beauty of the subjectiveness of it all. So the camera kind of cut off there, so we're just kind of coming back to finish off what we were doing. So in short, you found a perfume / fragrance that you love, that you're going to buy for you. So that's Byron's The Chronic. And you've hated a couple which we'll ignore. And for men, the number one out of my list was Bleu de Chanel EDP.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so there we go.
That's a sexy
I hope
smell.
you've enjoyed this video. It's been a nice mix. I'm sort of glad that they're not all 9s and 10s because that's kind of boring. At least we had a nice mix of reactions and we can gauge what you like and what you don't like. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the like button and also hit subscribe if you haven't already done so. And by all means, drop a comment below and tell Venora how much you loved her and how much you want her to come back. And hopefully I'll get her to come and do another video with me. So thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having
thank
me.
you for breaking my heart on some of the fragrances, but thank you for your opinions. They are all valued. And we'll see you again for the next one. So thank you for watching. Much love.
Ciao.